Hello, my fellow hermits, and welcome to another video today. Hopefully, my audio quality is a lot better. I got a new microphone, so we love that for your girl. But I hope you're doing well. Today, we are going to look into non-specific situations in terms of what lessons you're supposed to be learning within the next 30 days. I'm going to be looking at what is your current situation, what might be the cause of the situation, what lesson you are meant to learn, what the ultimate action Spirit wants you to take is, what would you say to yourself within these next 30 days, and of course, we are going to get any advice and clarifications that we need depending on the situation that arises. We're doing a pick a deck reading today rather than a pick a card reading today. So, whichever one seems to resonate with you the most, go ahead and choose that, and we will get into it. Thank you so much for viewing, as always, and yeah, we shall get into it. Hello, Pile One, and welcome to your reading. So, the card that you received today, first of all, you chose the Crowley deck, and you received the Ten of Swords in reverse, also known as Ruin. The Ten of Swords in reverse, it seems like you're not going through the greatest time right now, and you might feel as though you have either reached rock bottom or you are coming out of rock bottom, but there's an element of rock bottom being present here, depending on how you resonate with this card. But I'm really sorry, Pile One. You seem like you're not going through the greatest time right now, and it's never fun to go through a Ten of Swords moment in itself. So hopefully this guidance is going to be helping you, but you're saying goodbye to something in your life that you might be clinging onto and that you might refuse to let go of. And it their presence keeps lingering for you, and you have such heavy feelings of sadness and disappointment right now. And the heartbreak that you're feeling from this situation might be a bit unbearable, and you might need additional support to move through what is happening. But you're having a hard time coming to terms with whatever situation that you're asking about. And let's go ahead and we'll clarify the Ten of Swords here. What is causing this Ten of Swords energy here? That one wanted to jump out, but it didn't want to fully come out. There we go. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. You might have had a financial or wealth loss happen for you. Something that was supposed to be stable is no longer there. And I think the seed of your commitment, some sort of investment that you made or time that you put into something seems to be lost. And someone had a change of heart and decided to leave a situation that you thought was stable, and you no longer see value in the situation that you're going through. And that might be hard for you to handle with the Ten of Swords in reverse, because you might have had a lot of stake in that, and you might have thought that this person was committed and stable and faithful, if it is a person, or the situation was something you would commit to and would be stable. It doesn't have to be a relationship. And you might be stuck in this energy of you're losing me, where do I throw out everything we've built or keep it? Because you're tired of questioning the worth, and you're tired of questioning the loss of whatever your situation is that you're asking about. You might be leaning more towards, with this Ruin card here, that it's not going to happen for you if this person or situation hasn't already fallen through, or if it has already fallen through, it's kind of hard for you to let it go because there was so much attached to this. There was so much potential because this is the Ace of Pentacles. So you thought this was something that was going to grow into abundance, and you thought that this was something that was going to bring you value, and now you don't know. For some of you, and this is a very select few of you, it could be that someone was unfaithful or someone wasn't as committed as they should have been in the situation, and that's why you feel confused or in ruin. But that doesn't have to be the case here if you're asking about a career. I'm leaving the readings open for today, so this could apply to a wide variety of situations. But for some reason, someone or something was not as valuable as you thought it was going to be, and the investment was not going to pay off. And it doesn't seem like you invested, I could be wrong. Please take what resonates. It doesn't seem like you invested too much time in this situation or too much time into this person. This seems to be something that, again, had potential but didn't lift off and wasn't fully committed to. But that might just be for a select few of you here. Since the Ace of Discs is here, that's the impression that I'm getting. So let's go into, I pulled the cards and shuffled them off of the camera. We'll go ahead and we'll put that there. So what's going to be happening for you within the next 30 days is the Disappointment card, the Five of Cups, Sorrow in reverse. So I'm sorry if you were coming here for good news. It could be lifting up. Oh, the Star. That's a good card. And then Valor. I'm hearing I can do it with a broken heart in my head. So you might be going through this energy of continuing to chug along and continuing to pretend like nothing's wrong, even though there obviously is something wrong based on the cards that we've received here. I feel like this is a transitory energy where it makes the most sense, in my opinion, for you to go into this energy of feeling heartbroken and feeling disappointment to being more hopeful and triumphing at the end of the day through this. I think this is something that you kind of have to move through and that you have to mourn the loss of, because obviously with the Five of Cups here, and I'm immediately drawn to the male symbol. So it could be a man that you are mourning the loss of, or if this isn't about a man, this might be a situation where you feel like you've just been slaughtered. Because the Ruin Ten of Swords card can talk about ego death almost, where you kill a version of yourself, if that makes sense, and you become a completely different person as a result of that rock bottom state. You say goodbye to small aspects of yourself that didn't serve you. I believe ruin relates to the death card sometimes, so I think you might be letting go of a lot of things, and that might be why slaughter is being brought up. Or you might kind of feel like you've gone through some sort of war, and the Great War by Taylor Swift is coming up. Sorry, but like this is the Taylor Swift pile. Just gonna call it as it is. You might feel like you just got out of warfare. You might feel like you've done a lot of battling and that you've preserved through a lot of stuff in spite of the fact that we have this Ace of Discs here. It could be that you've been through so much within a short period of time that you feel as though you've transformed into a brand new person, which has happened before. I've seen it happen before. But for the traditional meaning of the Five of Cups card, you might be so focused on the disappointment of the situation or so focused on the state of ruin that it's going to be hard for you within the initial few days to see the good in life. And I'm not an advocate for false positivity, if I'm being honest with you. If you're going through a hard time in general, I don't think that forcing yourself to be positive is the right thing to do here. And I don't know why I feel called to say that and to get on my soapbox and whatnot, but I think it's important for your group to know that it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to be disappointed and to feel sad and to mourn the loss of something. Even though it might feel like spilled milk, or even though people are telling you it's spilled milk, I think accepting the situation that you're going through and accepting the loss is more helpful than denying it and shaming yourself for feeling the way that you feel right now. Because obviously, if you feel something towards it, it was important to you. And it doesn't matter if it was in an initial phase, it doesn't matter if you've been through the trenches for longer than other people. If you're disappointed in something, you're disappointed in it. And I think you're going to be mourning that loss within the next 30 days, and that's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. It's okay to not be okay. And I think that false positivity is bullshit. Like, if you're going through something, you don't have to be positive. It doesn't matter if people like understand or not. It doesn't matter if they think that it's stupid. It means something to you. So fuck those people if they're telling you, not to cry over it. But if you are like getting yourself down over the situation of disappointment, I'd say that try not to beat yourself up too much, because for whatever reason, I'm getting the sense that this wasn't your fault. That's kind of what has been going through my brain since I've started this reading. This isn't your fault. It keeps repeating over and over and over again. This isn't your fault. And I think that's important to tell you that what happened is not your fault, at least from your guide's perspective. So you also have sorrow in reverse with the Three of Swords. Yes. Sorry, I'm not familiar with the Crowley deck that much, and I'm learning. This is the heartbreak card, the Three of Swords in reverse. And it might feel like you are stuck in this state of agony within the first half of 30 days. Something definitely shattered your heart and broke it beyond repair. And it's related to conflict, because swords energy is related to conflict, or it's related to deception or lies of sorts. But you're in a lot of pain within the next 30 days. And I think you're in a lot of pain right now, to be honest, as I'm channeling your energy. And you might allow your heartbreak to consume you, and the heartbreak might become worse than the original pain that you've had. And don't click off this reading, by the way. There is hope. I'm going to tell you that. This is just the beginning stages. And if you are going through, like, I'm glad that you're here. I'm just going to say that. Very glad that you're on this earth right now. Very glad that you have continued to go through this, and that you are trudging along and you are working through what is happening to you right now. Like, thank you for being here. If you need to bed rot, if you need to like linger in bed for the next few days and not do anything productive, then do that. But I'm just glad that you're here. I'm just going to say that over and over and over again. Thank you for existing, and please continue to go through this fight, because it is going to be worthwhile in the end within the next 30 days. But I'm just going to tell you that the heartbreak is going to be there in the initial stages. And this pain continues to linger for whatever reason, and it's not leaving you. I think it might be that you're holding on to it, and the pain seems to just be dragging out and getting worse and worse and worse. I feel more and more compelled to say that this is related to a person. You might have had a breakup recently that has happened, where you thought that this person was stable and committed and they just weren't to you. And the Ruin card can talk about the end of delusion. So maybe you were under the impression that this was something more than it actually was, for those of you who are asking about a breakup, and it actually wasn't what you thought that it was. And so all of these truths are coming to light, and that's why you're stuck in this energy, because you almost have to unravel the lie, is what I'm hearing in my head, before you're able to fully address the source of your heartbreak. And that might be why it's currently lingering for you. But as I said, the end of the 30 days, from what I can see, is positive. The star card, by the end of this cycle, you're going to heal and you're going to feel hopeful and you're going to receive a lot of inspiration from this. Even though you've gone through the darkest of times, you're going to feel more faithful and you are going to receive the guidance that you're looking for. And I think the universe right now is really protecting you with the starred card here, and they are guiding you towards a major decision in your life, and they are bringing you towards what you deserve, is what I'm hearing for some of you that have had a breakup. I think this breakup might have happened for a reason, and the divine intervened, and it might feel painful to go through this right now, but the star card talks about moving towards a major decision. So I'm kind of under the impression that you might be meeting someone within the next few days, and you might feel incredibly grateful that you did not give up and that you didn't decide to settle down. If this is about a person, which I'm compelled to think it is at this point, you're going to forget about this motherfucker that hurt your feelings. You're going to forget about all of this pain that you've went through, and I think you're going to feel really grateful that you did not settle for anything less and that the situation happened. Because sometimes when you go through pain, it's confusing and you feel upset about the fact that things ended, but eventually you receive the clarity that you're looking for, and eventually I'm talking about my ass, but I'm a proponent for things happen for a reason sometimes. And I think this is that moment where it's like that breakup happened for a reason. And you're going to forget all about this person eventually, because whatever is coming into your life is going to be beautiful. And if you're asking about like the loss of a career, getting fired from a job, anything related to the loss of that, I think you're going to be happy that that happened to you in a weird way. For instance, one of my close family members recently lost a job, and she has always wanted to be a mom. She hated her job, didn't like working there in the first place, but she, as a result of losing her job, got to spend more time with her son. And she absolutely loves him. Her purpose, she feels, is being a mother and being there for him, and she gets to see him grow up more. So it's almost a blessing in disguise type of moment where you might be able to focus more on what you were meant to do, and you might be able to focus more on, I'm hearing for some of you, creative work, because maybe you were in a job that you absolutely hated and that felt like pulling teeth just to get in your car and drive down to it, and it sucked the life out of you. And now you get to focus more on what inspires you. And now you get to focus more on healing yourself and maybe doing things that you never got to do because you were so busy. And you might receive, depending on, it doesn't say this in the cards, but I feel like for some of you, you might end up receiving a new job that you're more in line with and that you feel better about and that you feel more driven and inspired to do. And that in itself might heal the pain that you feel. But there is hope. Spirit wants you to know that within the end of the next 30 days, you're going to feel a lot of hope, regardless of where you are. And looking for signs might be helpful. So, any angel numbers that you associate with, regardless of what camp you're in, might bring you some hope and encouragement, or asking for directions. So, reaching out to other people for help to talk about the situation, maybe talk to a counselor, maybe talk to friends and family that you feel comfortable and safe talking to, is going to be significant here. But this isn't the end of the road. There's more for you in the future. And giving up right now is, I'm hearing, out of the question, which is not the way that I would like to put it. But I'd say don't give up. There's so much to look forward to in the future. And people say that all the time, like, oh, it gets better, it gets better, it gets better. And it does. It's just life is a roller coaster. As cliche as that is, I feel like it's true. And you have a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes you have lower lows, sometimes you have higher highs. It's never going to be a linear process towards getting better, but I think it's definitely going to get better for you. You have the Seven of Wands, so I don't think you are going to give up within the next 30 days. I think you're going to triumph over the loss that you faced. You might feel a little bit defensive and you might have some lingering trauma, is what I'm hearing from the situation, which is pretty normal to go through. I wouldn't shame yourself for developing defense mechanisms as a result of what happened, but you're not going to give up under the stress and the pressure. You're going to feel like you have to prove yourself almost, and you're going to do whatever it takes to fight through this situation and to win. And you're definitely going to win. You're going to earn back your confidence and you're going to earn back your abilities. And you might have people that aren't necessarily going to be in your corner and aren't necessarily going to support what you're going through, but don't allow that to discourage you. I think continuing to fight through this battle, regardless of what that is to you, if it's a quote unquote small thing, which I don't believe in trivializing people, by the way. So if it's a small thing to you, I don't care. Cry, mourn it. It's important to you, is what I'm trying to say. Don't discount your feelings just because you don't feel like they're significant, because they are. They mean something to you. So I think you're going to battle through whatever it is that you're going through. And in the end, you're going to win over the depression. You're going to win the breakup, but not in the toxic way. I think in the positive way of you're going to get better and you're going to have so many options available to you. You're going to have a lot to look forward to. And if it's a career related or personal related situation, I think you're going to win. You're going to win the situation, is all I'm trying to say here. And you're going to I just get the sense that you're going to feel so happy by the end of these 30 days that you didn't give up. So, what is the lesson that you're meant to learn from this situation? We're gonna go ahead and put these guys away. And you received inspiration. I haven't looked at the guidebook yet, but I get the feeling that inspiration, the pain that you are feeling right now, you might channel into creative work. You might channel this pain into this need to prove yourself and to not give up. And you're going to create something beautiful out of this, I would say, for yourself. And that might be really empowering, if I'm going to be real here, for you to go through this. It might not seem like it now, but I think at the end, it's going to refine your perspective, and it's going to give you so many ideas or so much content for some of you to work with. And I don't want to say that, like, sometimes like turning your pain into craft is really powerful. And I'm going to share some of my personal experiences a bit more. If you don't want to hear it, totally understand. I'll just throw my hand up and you can just go to that the next time you see my hand pop up. But for me, I went through a really tough situation starting in June of 2024. My dating life was a disaster, as I've alluded to in several videos. And I've never written so much poetry in my life as a result of that pain. I just felt like creating was breathing to me. Like I just had to put my pain down onto the page. And you might feel the same way, where this inspires you to create. Like maybe something that you haven't touched in a while, you'll go back to, and it'll just be more refined. It'll be more reflective of what you've been through, and it'll be more informed of what happened. And I think you might look back on this within the next few years, is what I'm hearing, and think to yourself, wow, that experience was incredibly transformative for me. And I might have gone through a lot of pain, and I don't want to necessarily say be grateful for that pain, because sometimes it's unnecessary to go through that level of bullshit, if I'm being real. But I think you might reflect on the situation that happened to you, and you might be like, oh my gosh, that really inspired me, and that gave me so many ideas to work with. But reading through the guidebook, you have a grand vision or a vague sense of something that could be. You are encouraged to accept the vision, the idea, or the inspiration as it is important to your creative and spiritual growth. Also, it is possible, which is interesting that this card brings it up, because the Seven of Wands that you received earlier, there are people telling you that your idea is impossible and that the situation is impossible. And Spirit is here to tell you that no, it is possible, and to keep going. It's giving you encouragement almost to climb the mountain and to do what it is that people tell you not to do, because I'm just looking at her hair, it's like expansive. And three sometimes talks, three reminds me of like the Empress always whenever I'm channeling and reading. And if you look at this card, there's so many bees coming to this woman's hair to pollinate. So your ideas are going to become expansive, and your ideas are almost going to bring a lot of abundance to you. And I think pollination, I think your ideas are going to become more fertile within the next few months. The bee is bringing you healing, medicine, wisdom from nature to aid the message of the Oracle of Inspiration. Bee is a powerful spirit totem. So bees are going to be significant within the next few months, or within the next 30 days, I should say. Bees are able to fly with wings that are significantly small in proportion to their heavier bodies. They can do so because of the sheer speed with which their wings move. Your idea, even if it seems like a big, substantial plan that might be difficult to get off the ground and up and running, can succeed. You will attract great helpers to you, and the earth will support the success of this project, idea, or vision, because it is about helping the greater good as well as your own growth and development. When the Earth Mother lends you nature wisdom to support your healing and growth, you know you have an exceptionally powerful ally to your cause. Let this bring you confidence. If you have also drawn the After the Storm card, consider this message amplified, which we didn't. Allow inspiration to fill you with enthusiasm, an expectation of magic and marvelous synchronicity as people, situations, and opportunities fall into place to help bring your inspiration into reality. Yeah, so I definitely think that whatever it is that you said goodbye to, whatever it is that you lost, needed to almost happen so that it can bring in more opportunities, and it can bring in people that you actually resonate with and that you are going to love and adore, or even a job. This idea has the potential to flower into so much more than you realize. It has great potential. You can become something that feeds and nourishes others on their creative and personal healing paths, too. It has the quality of a mission and is so much more than one singular idea. So, this is encouraging you to be open, receptive, trusting, and enthusiastic about what has come through. And you are meant to be a different human being. You are meant to be out there and wild and impractical sometimes. And it's saying don't doubt yourself, because this inspiration is going to bring you success and abundance. So, yeah, you're definitely going to receive a lot of inspiration from this. The Star card even talks about that. I think you're going to heal and triumph over this, and you're just going to grow and expand your mind and expand your ideas. And I get this sense of awe from you, where you're going to be seeing things or going through situations where your jaw is going to drop and you're going to be like, "Oh my god, this is divine. Like, I can't believe that I was stuck on this job or this person for so long, because now that I'm actually out into the world, I get the sense that you're going to realize just how unnecessary or just how unaligned it was with you, and you're going to feel so inspired by what's happening around you, and so inspired that you were able to take the time to see this or have this idea go to fruition. I think you're going to forget all about whatever it is that you're going through right now, but obviously I would say mourn it as you should. Like, allow the heartbreak to move and take its course through you and not shame yourself for what's going on. Allow it to give you inspiration too, I think is important here. So, what action are you going to be taking? What action does Spirit want you to take? You received the Mermaid card of contemplation. So I think you're going to have a lot of time to consider what happened and to reflect on what happened. And that might give you ideas on what you don't want almost, and what you do need or what you do want. Because in situations where you lose something like this, even if it wasn't your choice, when you contemplate and you reflect on the situation that happened, sometimes it gives you clarity about, maybe I do need this. For instance, in a relationship, maybe the person that you're talking to didn't give you a lot of affection or attention. And now that you're out of that relationship and there's no more waiting on, that conversation to come up, there's no more waiting on this person to come up, you're like, oh, maybe it was a good thing that, we didn't end up together, because I actually needed more attention than what they were willing to give me. I don't want to say that to demonize the person, but sometimes you just know it's not meant for you. And it's a lesson in a way of teaching you like what you actually want, is what I'm trying to say. And you can apply that to a job too. Maybe you're working a job where, I'll do an opposite example of me, and this doesn't have to relate to you, but maybe it does. Maybe you're working a job where you're stuck behind a desk all day and you're sitting at your cubicle and your back hurts and your neck hurts and your eyes start to strain from looking at a computer screen all day. And now that you've lost your job, even if it wasn't your choice, you might sit and reflect and be like, what do I actually want to do with my life? Like, what do I actually want my day to day to look like? And maybe that's talking with more people. Maybe that's working with your hands more. Maybe that's getting up and walking around and having a job where you're more active. It allows you the chance to contemplate and to think deeply about what it is that you actually want. So we'll look through the message here. Contemplate your current situation and allow your thoughts and feelings to flow. Use your mind in conjunction with your heart and think things through before making decisions. You're going to be using your creativity to look at various outcomes and scenarios, and you're going to imagine you're experiencing the things you're contemplating without doing anything in the physical reality. So you're almost going to be using your imagination to its fullest to help you make decisions, which is honestly a good thing. This situation calls for you to think deeply, using your wisdom and imagination to arrive at wholesome solutions. Your feelings may be a bit confused right now, and you're prone to follow your heart, which is usually a good thing. This situation calls for you to use your mind in conjunction with your heart and think things through rationally before coming to any decisions, especially life-changing ones. Contemplation is a type of meditation, only it entails engaging with your mind instead of trying to stop the thoughts. When you use your mind and heart wisdom in union, it's possible to make major decisions in life knowing you've covered all angles and explored several options and outcomes in the safety of your own imagination. Perhaps someone close to you is contemplating their future. Let them know the importance of staying in a positive state of mind when going through this process, as what we can project can come into being. So it's wise to be mindful of this as you contemplate and play with possibilities. So I think before you commit to anything new and before you move into this next phase, I think using what inspires you as guidance within these next few days is going to be important, and using that to determine what you want before you make any sort of decision is going to be important, because maybe previously you made decisions based on complete logic and rationality, or maybe it is that you made decisions just solely based on what your heart wanted, and using them in conjunction and figuring out how to blend those two together, almost like the Temperance card, is going to be significant for you. And I think you're going to be doing that. You're going to be using your imagination to its fullest. And for instance, with a partner, maybe someone's coming into your life and you decide before you commit to them to imagine what a life would be like with them, and to compare that with an imagined person, for instance, because sometimes I do that same thing. And you're like, do I want this person or do I prefer what's in my imagination? Is it practical for the person in my imagination to prevent me from seeing this new person? That's the situation that I'm talking about. And maybe for a career as well, like you're going to take the time to really sit and imagine what it would be like to be in a career right like that. And you'll be like, well, maybe the money is really good, but I can't see myself doing that. And you decide to turn down the job offer. Or it could also be, oh, I could definitely see myself doing this, even though I know that it doesn't make a lot of money. That sort of situation, I think, is going to be what you're going to be doing and what action you're going to take. You're going to become more contemplative and you're going to think decisions through before you make them, which is beautiful and I think is going to guide you in the right direction. What are you going to be saying to yourself within the next 30 days? I took a peek at these and they're pretty interesting. So you received. I'm actually going to take these cards off because I might ask for clarification on camera as to what this is asking about. So we'll put the mermaid card back. I know I was a distraction from your pain. You didn't see my tears, and I don't know what you want or what you're going to be saying to yourself within the next 30 days. So, the person that you might have committed to, if this is related to a person, I think you feel used by this person with this. I know I was a distraction from your pain. And that might be why there's so much heartache from that situation. This person, I feel like, just wasn't honest with you in a way. Because you also have, I don't know what you want. And they didn't put their full intentions forward with you and they weren't direct about that. And you might have almost deluded yourself into saying, this is okay. It's fine. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the way that they're treating me right now. And you really weren't because you didn't see my tears. They were bringing you a lot of pain. And I think you were trying to hide that from them because you knew what was happening and you just wanted it to work, is what I'm hearing. You just wanted them to commit. And they just weren't honest with you because I think if they were honest with you, you wouldn't have stayed or you would have realized. I just get the sense that they just used you because they didn't know what they wanted. And this doesn't have to be malicious, but if it is, I'd say fuck them because they don't deserve you. But even if it's not malicious, it hurt you. And being a distraction from someone else's pain, you don't deserve that. You deserve a love that is committed to you. You deserve someone that's forward with you. You deserve someone that is going to be open with you and not someone that you have to cry over because you're confused about what's going on or because you have to hide yourself from some sort of truth that's happening. So I think you're going to be working through these ideas that are popping into your head of knowing. I think you're going to be coming to terms with the truth, essentially, and unraveling the quote unquote lie. LOML might be significant of running her hair through the braid. Can't even remember the line, but I was just thinking of that. And I think you're going to be healing from all of these ideas that are going to be popping into your head. They just might pop up from time to time. If this is related to a career, it could be a friend, it could be a boss where you felt like you were some sort of distraction. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be that they were incredibly rude to you because they were in pain. You were just kept in the dark, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, you were definitely kept in the dark about the expectations of the job. And people didn't tell you what they wanted from you. And maybe that's because they didn't want to see you be successful. For some of you, doesn't have to be for all of you. And you might have went home like crying at the end of your shift every single day because you were just so confused. You don't deserve that. That's all I'm going to say. You definitely don't deserve to be in a situation like that. I feel called to ask for clarification here. We'll get advice, actually, on the situation. I'm feeling compelled to do the moon cards. But we'll also ask for tarot advice too to help navigate the next 30 days. What is some advice that you can give to pile 1 within the next 30 days? It's time to release negativity. Beautiful. Full moon in Scorpio. So Scorpio might be significant to the situation in some way. Maybe it's the month that things started to feel off, is what I'm hearing. Maybe it's when things finally heal, because obviously 30 days might not be enough time to go through everything completely. Or maybe you have Scorpio in your charts and you identify heavily with Scorpio energy. That if that was meant to come out. What is some other advice? What is some other advice that you can give to pile 1, please, on how to navigate the next 30 days? Disappointment. So if someone has been unkind to you, this card is encouraging you to release them and to feel all of your feelings, is what this card tends to talk about. There might be some nastiness, so either from a job or a boss or a person. And if that's the case, take it as a sign to move away from them and to stop living in fear and to essentially let things go, let it all out, feel what you need to feel, go through what you need to go through, because it is going to be intense these next few months. And that's okay. Like, you're allowed, as I said, to feel emotion. And with the disappointment card being here, I think it's telling you to really allow yourself to mourn and to allow yourself to look at the cups that spilled and to really go through those emotions and then to release them. Because with the 5 of cups, there tend to be 2 that are still upright behind you that are really positive and that are there for you and that were meant to stay upright for you. So I think that just taking the time to feel and to go through everything that you're going through is going to be really important, and realizing what to release is what I'm hearing is going to be extremely beneficial for you. So that's where I'm going to leave you for today, pile 1. I've posted a lot of connections reading, so if you're going through a really tough connection, feel free to check those out to kind of look more into that situation and what's going on if you are curious about a person. But yeah, I hope that helped, and I hope that things really do get better for you, pile 1, because it's never fun to go through a situation like this. And just take the time, I think, to really feel what you need to feel and take the time to go through the motions and do what you need to do what's best for you. So if this resonated, please leave a comment, please leave a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading for today. You chose the Celestial Tarot cards and the Amethyst crystal, and we are going to look into the current situation that you're going through, the Queen of Wands in reverse. I might have to get some clarification here on what this Queen of Wands is referring to. This might be you. This might be another person. What is this Queen of Wands energy? Can you clarify the Queen of Wands here? Okay, you have the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles here. I get the feeling you're asking about a person. You don't have to be, though. But the Queen of Wands in reverse, whoever this relates to, please take it just how you resonate. This is likely a fire sign. It doesn't have to be. So Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries energy is significant here. But they have low self-esteem right now, and they are trying to receive attention and have all eyes on them. They might be gossipy and talking about people behind their backs and trying to find out personal details about someone to share with the quote-unquote enemy. They're charismatic, but they use that in a negative way to try to entrap people to do what she wants them to do. Doesn't even have to be a woman, but they have feminine energy. They aren't really interested in anything that anyone else is saying unless it serves their own purpose or their intentions. They really just want people to uplift them. They want people to glorify them even if they don't deserve it. So they're willing to go to extreme measures in order to receive that level of attention on them. I get the feeling this isn't necessarily you. I think it might be someone in your life that is behaving like that. And that is unfortunate. So I apologize if you are on the receiving end of that. But I get the reason why I say I don't think it's you is because you have the Nine of Swords in reverse, and it kind of feels like you're stuck in your worst nightmare right now. So you might be up late at night with a lot of anxiety about the situation. You might feel like you're frozen in fear, and it's hard for you to rise out of this state of mind. The other end of the situation is that maybe you've been in a period of anxiety for quite some time about this Queen of Wands in reverse situation, and now you have enough confidence to realize that fear is the only thing that's stopping you right now, and you can kind of laugh at what's holding you back. So it could be right now that you see behind this Queen of Wands in reverse energy and you see that she's just doing all this for attention, and ignoring her is likely for the best, and not allowing her to continue to be the way that she is, regardless of whether this is a man or a woman, is the best way to handle this situation. And kudos to you if you've realized behind the fear. But if you're stuck in that fear, there's also not any shame in that. And it's totally normal to feel overwhelmed by someone who behaves in this way and someone who is nasty in this way. But karma's a bitch is all I'm going to say. Not Jojo Siwa. Wasn't trying to put in Jojo Siwa. Maybe we'll say karma is my boyfriend. Like, people who behave like this Queen of Wands energy, they are going to get what's coming to them at the end of the day. Because in my opinion, someone who is unhealthy regularly and on purposefully, they tend to get what's coming to them because people see through bullshit eventually, and people won't like that at the end of the day. So she's going to get what's coming to her. If you resonate with Queen of Wands energy, there's also no shame. I don't feel like anyone that watches tarot videos tend to go out of their way to be malicious, but if you do, I'd say you need to really address the situation that's causing you to be this way. But if you do resonate with the Queen of Wands, maybe you are lacking confidence right now, and you feel yourself trying to get people to pay attention to you. You feel like you need some extra support and don't necessarily know how to reach out about that. And maybe it's a situation where you're just incredibly hurt right now, and so you feel the need to hurt other people because you're stuck in this state of anxiety that forces you to lash out. But however you resonate with this reading today, you also received the Knight of Pentacles. And I'm not sure if this is another person or if this is related to you as well. But the Knight of Pentacles talks about progress. Someone that progresses steadily, consistently, and quietly builds. They're committed to a goal, and their hard work is starting to pay off, and they know things can't be rushed. especially when they're starting to make progress, but they're encouraged by the small wins that they are receiving along the way. And people perceive this person as dependable and thoughtful and worth investing in. This is related to earth energy, so it could be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, but it doesn't have to be. I'm more inclined to think viewers, this might be you. So it could be that you're going through a negative situation where the Queen of Wands doesn't like the fact that the attention is getting taken away from her. So she's starting to lash out and almost sabotage you, or maybe she's doubting your work and trying to instill this level of anxiety within you. Or it could also be that this might be related to a person that is giving you anxiety that you see as reliable and consistent and steady, and you feel the need to receive attention from that person. However you resonate with the situation, if you do resonate, this will be your reading. So, what is the cause of the current situation here? I get the feeling there's some drama going on. What is the cause of this, Spirit? What is causing this situation? Thank you. Judgment in reverse. I get the sense that the Queen of Wands is starting to become anxious because the truth is bubbling its way up to the surface, and she has been caught in a lie. I'm just going to refer to the Queen of Wands as she, but again, it can be a man, it can be a woman, it can be an NB even, however it resonates. And they are refusing to see things for what they are, and they're trying to hold on to the status quo, which I feel like that's her hierarchy. She feels like you're slowly dismantling her, and that might be why she's lashing out towards you, or that might be why you're lashing out towards this person, depending on how you resonate. And they are forced to accept this level of change even when they don't feel ready. They're trying to keep things the same, and they're trying not to grow, but it's not really working for them. I think that the universe is moving towards the favor of having things change and having the truth bubble up to the surface. So let's look at then. I feel like, so what's going to happen from this situation is where I want to go with this. What's going to happen with this situation within the next 30 days? What's going to happen on the Queen of Wands end? Oh, I also forgot to mention too, a third situation that potentially could pop up with this is maybe if you resonate with both, where you feel the need to receive attention, it might be that you recognize the negative aspect of yourself that tries to have things work in their favor, and you might be a little bit anxious about this part of you and might be trying to prevent this Queen of Wands in reverse energy from bubbling to the surface within you. It could be someone that you used to be, and now you're transitioning to this Knight of Pentacles energy where you are becoming more consistent and steady and stable, and you are deciding to, I feel like, change, even if you're not ready to change into this Pentacles person, which is beautiful energy if you are recognizing that negativity within you and stifling it out. But what's going to be happening with this? What's going to be happening on the Queen of Wands side of things? The moon. Can we clarify the moon, please? Sorry, I shuffled pile ones off camera, but I guess today we are shuffling them on camera. Seven of Pentacles. All right, what is going to be happening on the Knight of Pentacles side of things? Oh, Actually, we're going to do this because then it's even. And then back of the deck energy, she wanted to come out. I almost want to start with the Six of Cups in reverse here. A lot of bad memories seem to be popping to the surface related to this person. So I'm more inclined to believe that for most of you, this is related to a different person with this Queen of Wands in reverse. It could be an ex, could be an ex-friend of yours, it could be a coworker, however you resonate with it, I'm just going to say. You wish you could forget the memories that you had with this person. You wish that you could let go of them, but for some reason, these memories just keep resurfacing within the next 30 days with you. And you might be stuck in the glory days. So if you were in a connection with this person, it could be that you're stuck in how nice it was to be with this person in the beginning and how nice they were in the beginning towards you and how charismatic they were. And that's tainted by a lot of these bad memories with this person. I'm hearing escapism. So if you identify with the Queen of Wands energy and reverse, where you feel the need to have attention and you feel the need to have this at all costs from this Pentacles person, I think that you have a lot of bad memories of maybe what you did to them, and you might be a little bit regretful of what happened between the two of you, or you might be regretful of your connection with them in general. And the third possibility that I see with the Six of Cups in reverse is if you identify with both energies and you're trying to transition from the Queen of Wands energy to the Nine of Pentacles energy, you might be embarrassed for the way that you behaved previously. And you might have a lot of memories resurfacing of the glory days of when you used to be the Queen of Wands, and that might continue to pop up all the time. Of maybe you remember receiving a lot of attention in high school, and maybe it doesn't even have to be related to high school, it could be anything. Maybe you miss the level of attention that you used to have back in the day. Maybe you miss who you used to be as a result of a lot of this anxiety, and these bad memories keep popping up within the next 30 days. But you could also be regretful of the way that you behaved too with this card, where you could regret the way that you behaved in the past, and you could be worried that a lot of these bad memories are going to keep resurfacing. But I think this is really what's keeping you up, is a lot of memories, good memories that you had that now seem to be turned into nightmares. So that's the energy between the two of you. If there is a second person involved here, they definitely have a lot of bad memories popping up as well. They feel the same way about you that you do about them, where they might be just trying to forget and they might be trying to let go of things. They might also be stuck in this glory days energy where they miss who they used to be. But take how that resonates depending on the three situations that I've listed. Depending on which camp that you're in, if there are two different sides of you, we're going to take that route at this point. So if there's, you know who the Queen of Wands is and you know who the Knight of Pentacles is, this is going to be representative of the Knight of Pentacles, the way that I pulled it, and this is going to be representative of the Queen of Wands. It could be flipped. So if you feel like this pile resonates more with you than it does them, that's totally fine. As I said, take it how it applies to you. But if you identify with both energies and you're in a transitory energy, all of this applies to you within the next 30 days. But I'm going to transition into talking about them as two separate entities right now. So on the Queen of Wands' side, they have the Moon card. They seem confused right now, and they're recognizing that circumstances and people are not what they seem to be. They are stuck in this fantasy and illusion and fear, and they're worried about what they can't see right now, essentially, with the Moon card. They know they can't predict what's going to happen. They know that things are going to change, and they might they might feel like they're being lied to right now, and they're letting their imagination run wild with them with the moon card. So they might be stuck in a state of delusion where they are just not seeing things clearly, and that's creating a lot of fear within them. Or they might be I'm hearing rumors, so there might be some rumors that they're either circulating or that they're circulating about them, and it's really not what it seems to be. I don't think that there's too much truth into what's happening with them, but this rumor or this energy of confusion relates to a payoff, because they have the 9. Is that the 9 of Pentacles? That is the 9 of Pentacles. I thought it was the 7 of Pentacles. Sorry. So they might be living in this delusion or this bad memory. It could be bad memory of wealth with the 6 of Cups here. Maybe they lost wealth, like a significant amount of wealth, and it's hard for them to accept that. So they're living in a delusion of maybe feeling like they're actually wealthier than they actually are, or that they're receiving a lot more fruits of their labor than they actually are. I feel like they're projecting an idea of themselves that's not necessarily true, and they might be talking about all that they've accomplished and that they feel grateful for that and safe and secure and taken care of, but it's really not what's happening right now. I feel like they either lost that or they never had that level of wealth to begin with. That, or they might not feel safe or secure in themselves right now, and so they're projecting this false confidence when really they're insecure. I feel like it's more the latter than the former, but it could also be the former as well. But obviously, if they're spreading rumors and they're trying to receive attention at the cost of anything that's happening to them, they're not safe and secure in their skin. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're definitely not safe and secure in how they feel. And they might be a little bit, if you do relate to this Queen of Wands energy, then I think you might be just doubting your self-worth and what you've built, and you might not feel like you deserve it. And you might be a little bit frustrated because people are telling you, oh, you're so lucky for what you've received. But you're like, no, it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get here. It took a lot of effort to get to where I am right now. And I feel offended by that, because I feel like you get the sense of, if you do relate to this Queen of Wands energy, that you're kind of trapped in this delusion is what I'm seeing. Like, you're kind of stuck with this idea that people have about you, that maybe you don't feel as like safe or secure or as abundant as you make yourself out to be. But you still want to project that illusion because you're afraid of what would happen if you don't have that for you anymore. I feel like they have this, oh, I can take care of myself energy. I'm abundant. I can do all this on my own, and I can feel safe and secure on my own. But obviously, with the Queen of Wands in reverse, that doesn't really seem to be the case. And maybe it is, but there's just the sense of like, it's not really what it seems to be. Like, if it is actually truthful and it actually is what's happening, and it's not a delusion of how much wealth that they actually have or how successful they are, then I feel like there's a lot of doubt surrounding what they've built for themselves or the work that went into that, which can be frustrating. But I think the Queen of Wands is the only person that knows the reality of the situation right now. Maybe like they do project, maybe they are going to try to use money and wealth as a way to differentiate themselves. Like, maybe that's what's going to be brought up consistently within the next 30 days. But there's some feeling of like, there's something not right here. Like, that's what I'm seeing as I'm reading the cards. There's something that's not correct about the way that they're portraying themselves. And I don't think they're going to be necessarily revealed in that way in the next 30 days. It could take a while, or maybe it never will happen. But I get the sense that if you are the Knight of Pentacles, you're going to kind of be seeing through that within the next 30 days. The Nine of Pentacles within the next 30 days is going to be going through heartbreak with the Three of Swords. So I feel like they're going to kind of find out about the Queen of Wands and figure her out more and see through what's happening. And they're going to feel really heartbroken and disappointed by that. They are going to feel lost and abandoned, and they are going to be going through the thick of it. And it's going to help them grow in the long term, and they're going to let it go eventually. But I think within the next 30 days, they're just going to be very heartbroken by the situation that happens. They might be heartbroken over the bad memories that happen, maybe the situation that happened between them and the Queen of Wands, but they're going to be going through it, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm being redundant right now. And I think that they're going to not really consider offers from the Queen of Wands. So if you are the Queen of Wands and you're pursuing someone that you identify as the Knight of Pentacles, I don't think they're going to take it very well. So if you apologize to them within the next 30 days, I don't know if they're going to really accept that, if I'm being real. They might. Again, this is just tarot cards. This is I want to say it's just for entertainment, but take what resonates, because obviously I can't tell you what to do with your life. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you the full outcome. Things change all the time. So if it doesn't resonate and things actually work out in the end, then that's great. But for the majority of you, I think that they're not going to be very open if you are the Queen of Wands within the next few days, or if you are the Knight of Pentacles. You might not feel very open to accepting any other offers due to this heartbreak. And a lot of the situation or them in general is going to be unmoving, and it's going to be unstubborn, because that's the nature of the number 4. It's pretty solid. And I think this person might continue to either feel heartbroken and stay a little bit stuck within this energy, or they're not going to move from what it is that they're building for themselves, because they know that moving away from this isn't really going to lead anywhere. Automatically grabbing the deck. Why are they unmoving right now? Why are they unmoving right now? I'll see if I can do this justice. Depending on who identifies with this energy, the Knight of Pentacles is juggling a lot right now, and they're pretty successful at balancing all the tasks that they're being thrown at and all the tasks that they're being given. But I think they don't really have the hands to juggle any more pentacles, if that makes sense, or the ability to kind of juggle any more pentacles. They're just stuck in limbo. So that's why they're not accepting any other offers, because I feel like they just have too much on their plate to deal with. I'm getting the sense of like, I don't give a shit. I'm going through a lot right now. That's kind of what's coming to my brain right now, is I kind of need help with what I'm going through right now, so I can't really deal with this, and I don't want to accept any more pentacles on my plate, because it's too much for me at the moment. They also have what they want already with the Nine of Cups here. They already feel like their dreams are coming true for them. They feel like they have what they need and their wish has been granted, which is kind of interesting because they're not necessarily at the 10 of Cups yet. And I've heard this I had a reading done for me recently where they described the 9 of Cups as like that one missing piece for them. But, that's so interesting. I don't think they feel the need to have an extra cup at the moment. I don't think they feel the need to enter into that 10 of Cups energy where it's true love. Yeah, they don't have everything that they've wanted yet. They're still missing that last cup, but they're not accepting the Queen of Wands. They're not going to be accepting the offer from the Queen of Wands, is what I'm seeing. Even though there's one more cup missing from their overall stack, they feel complete right now with what they have, and they're satisfied and proud of what they have, and they're happy about how far they've come, and they feel fulfilled, and they feel like everything that they've wanted has finally manifested, and maybe that's what they're busy juggling, is everything they've manifested. They also have the Five of Pentacles. Sometimes when people are heartbroken, they just don't want to accept other offers because they are stuck in that heartbreak. And I've talked about that before, the Four of Cups. They're lingering in this energy and they're not really letting it go. But I think that they might be so heartbroken that they're turned off to the idea of love right now, and they're closed off, essentially. So that might be what the Knight of Pentacles is going through, is they're just so fed up and so heartbroken from everything that's happened that they're like, fuck it. Like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. Like, I'm done with relationships. I'm putting a pause on it for now. I can't do this. But they also feel, yeah, that's what the Five of Pentacles is talking about. They also feel like abandoned and left in the cold, and their sense of security just got like ripped out under their feet with this Queen of Wands energy. And they might not be in a good, I don't think they're not in a good financial state though. I mean, they might not be in a good financial state right now, honestly, and they still feel fulfilled because money isn't completely happiness, but they feel abandoned and forgotten. And I think that they might be trying to get back on their feet, and they might be trying to, they might not want that heartbreak again. They might not want to feel abandoned again, and they might be in this energy of, I have what I need right now. At the same time, I'm juggling a lot of things right now, and I'm trying to get my self-esteem back, essentially. They might realize that, like, the cup that they're looking for, they can already fulfill it. And that's why they're not accepting any offers, because they're like, I thought the love was sturdy. I thought that this cup that I was being offered was sturdy and secure, but I know it's not. And so I'm not going to accept it, essentially, because I feel like I might get abandoned again. They might have abandonment wounds, is what I'm hearing, but they're not letting it get them down. And they still have, I feel like they need to there's something about asking for help about their situation, especially with the Two of Pentacles here and the Five of Pentacles. They might be a bit too stubborn to ask for help right now because they're a little bit blinded by their heartbreak, but they're focused on healing themselves. And I think that's why they're not really accepting any other offers. They're focused on getting their energy within the next 30 days back on point. And I think they are not accepting the cup because they don't feel hopeful right now, and they don't think that things are going to pan out in the way that they would like it to pan out with that extra cup. So if you're trying to apologize to this person, I think maybe we'll wait for the advice section, but I get the sense that maybe it's asking to wait. Or if you are this person, I think that you're going to be really focused on taking care of yourself and not really accepting any offers from anybody. It'll pop up if it's meant to get to me, because there's still time left in this reading. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I will be right back. I have to plug in my laptop because she needs power and battery. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, hello. I am back. The lesson that you were meant to learn from this situation. I could have, at the very least, you know what? It's fine. The lesson. All right. The lesson that you are meant to learn from this situation. What lesson, regardless of who this is, follow your own rhythm. And I feel compelled to let this one through because it's pretty and only 2 popped out and I can handle 2. Yeah, no, we're not going to be unhinged Madison today. So I think that you are starting to feel more connected to life, and there's something within you that's dying. So this could relate to to those of you that are. There's another card underneath this one, but I don't think it's relevant. Sorry, I just fucking saw that. Everything is not as it seems. Okay. Oh. She naked. I honestly don't give a shit about nudity, but, YouTube does. So, yeah, we covering up the titties. Sorry, I actually am unhinged today. You definitely feel something within you dying, so it might be that you're transitioning from this energy that needs attention to someone that's more stable within themselves. And there is time to rest in this transition, and there's, marching to your own beat, just being authentically you, not allowing someone to tell you what your inner rhythms are, and trusting your own timing. That makes me think of, you don't have to be a woman, but it makes me think of womanhood and how we're often put on a man's schedule of things because men have less changing hormones than we do. I don't know how to say it properly and eloquently, but their hormones are more stable than ours are, and we're expected as women to follow the rhythm of man. And maybe in these next 30 days, you're going to realize that you need to follow your own rhythm and your own timing. It could be that you're slowly getting out of just a bad cycle and realizing that you do need to take more time in the next 30 days to take care of yourself, especially if you are the Knight of Pentacles. And you're going to, some days you might feel better than others. Some days you might have to, like, for instance, call into work, or you might not be as happy or go lucky as the next day. But you're taking things in stride. And I think in the next 30 days, you're definitely going to be listening to your body more and trusting your own timing and not really rushing or forcing yourself to be someone that you're not and be a version of you that you're not, which is beautiful. You cannot miss what you are destined for, nor will you gain anything by trying to push yourself. Yeah, that's a special message that is coming forward through this card of follow your own rhythm. And 8, 3, 5, significant here, significant numbers. Trust in the life cycles within, and you will feel the perfect balance between effort, surrender, discipline, and letting go. So I think you might be realizing that you're not going to fuck up something that's meant for you, and maybe that's going to be helpful healing for you to realize that, maybe this situation was happening, and maybe it was meant to be destructive. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But you're going to be more gentle with yourself, definitely. And I think you're going to be feeling some random inspiration at times where you feel the need to connect with people and to create and to really share love. And you're going to be drawn to uplifting groups and places where you feel positive, energetic exchange. And your needs are going to be met by listening to your own rhythm and by trusting that you're not going to be missing out on what's not good for you. So maybe with the Queen of Wands, if you identify with that energy, you're going to be taking care of yourself more. And through taking care of yourself, you're going to feel better about what's been going on. And you're going to come to peace with this need to just have attention and to have people give you what you want to receive. But let's look at 12. Every journey starts with a single step. It definitely seems like in the next 30 days, you're going to be moving towards something new. And I think you're going to be saying goodbye to what it is that didn't serve you in the first place, and you're going to be pushed to move forward. And I'm looking at these butterflies, and I have been for quite some time. Also, the hair is just so radiant. So it's like she's absorbing knowledge. But they're surrounding this person, and I get like the imagery of old Disney movies where you have the birds circling the person and kind of urging them forward and guiding them forward. So I think that might be the case where you're going to be taking a new internal journey, and it's going to be important to fulfill your destiny and your purpose in life. And it starts on the inside, but eventually, once you heal from the situation that you're talking about, I think you're going to eventually physically express that internal journey outward. You might just be working on yourself in quiet, and then eventually people are going to be seeing the process happen. But I think that that's what this was meant to tell you, is that you have to follow your own path and you have to follow your own rhythm and do what works for you. And also that you're not missing out on things that are meant for you. Your destiny is just beginning in a way, and you needed to heal maybe some parts of you that you didn't realize you needed to heal from whatever happened in this connection with this person or in this transition. But you're going to feel in the next 30 days like this experience prepared you for this moment, and that you have everything that you need already present within you. You're not going to worry about what you're going to take with you, because if it wasn't meant to be taken along with you, you wouldn't have it. And I'm immediately drawn to the suitcase of, oh, that's where the butterflies are coming from. If you lost something, that's what I'm getting the impression of the butterflies here. They'll come back to you if it's important to you. If they're not important to you, I don't think they will come back. But you might be a little bit surprised, this says, about what can be left behind without making you feel anxious or concerned. So I get the feeling that you're going to be kind of minimalist within this period for some of you. That might be a bit too literal, but I just heard that in my head of you're going to realize just how much you can survive on, or just how little you can survive on with these next few 30 days. And that might be the lesson here of, maybe you depended on this person for a long time, and maybe you depended on whatever situation you're asking about for quite some time. And then you kind of realize, no, I can do this on my own. And I'm hearing Bones by Young Guns, which talks about that concept. You're able to travel further than you imagined possible. I think you're going to realize that the change is going to be a blessing, and you're more ready than you thought to move forward. Definitely. Yeah, and you're not going to know all the details, especially with the star card. Maybe you've been focused on that for quite some time, and this connection is going to help you realize that, yeah, it's all going to work out. That's what this is saying. It's all going to work out. And I think you're going to realize that. I think that's the lesson here, is that it's going to work out in the end. And this is good for you. This was meant to happen. But you're definitely going to be starting within the next 30 days a new creative work and exploring unknown possibilities. And you're going to create a new life out of whatever idea it is or whatever project it is that you decide to create. And it might be baby steps moving in the right direction, but they're going to bring about like a powerful transition and a powerful change that I think you're going to reflect upon and be like, oh my God, that was so necessary for me I just get the sense of like relief of like, that was necessary and that was meant to happen. And I might not have seen it at the moment, and I might have felt hopeless at the moment and abandoned and directionless, but I'm just grateful with where life has taken me. And it's definitely saying to keep going, like keep persevering, keep doing the inner work, even if you're frustrated or concerns, because eventually it's going to be translatable and you're going to receive. You're not going to receive, actually. You're just going to realize what you have available to you and that you have what you need already, which is redundant, but just trying to read those oracle messages. So that's the lesson here, is you're not leaving anything behind. If you've left something behind, you can do without it. You can survive on your own. You can take that journey and baby steps. Take baby steps. It's okay to take baby steps. You don't have to make a large leap. And I think that might be important with follow your own rhythm here too. Taking that baby step of just taking the time for yourself and being there for yourself and following your own rhythm is going to be important here. So that's the ultimate lesson. What we're going to go into, what action is Spirit encouraging you to take? What action is Spirit encouraging you to take? That one wanted to jump out. We're all just living the same lives. I just had that realization that came to my mind. I think you might realize that too, is like we're all really trust. We're all kind of going through the same thing at the same time sometimes. And, you are my fellow hermit, so I'm sure you're going through the thralls of being a hermit in a society that doesn't necessarily approve of hermits. Trust. There's no numbers on these cards. She's also hiding her nudity. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. That's so immature. But thank you. She's censoring herself for the sake of my YouTube channel, even though she shouldn't. Trust in life. Nothing happens by chance, and the universe is guiding you towards your destiny. Have faith and trust. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about destiny here. I think that whatever situation you've been going through is just not going to deter you from where you're meant to go. And everything is working out perfectly and for the highest good of all, even if it doesn't feel that way right now. It's important to put your trust in life and know that all is well. Sometimes we can feel like a feather in the wind, blown this way and that, feeling out of control. Yet the truth is we're never truly in control. Allow your heart and inner wisdom to guide you through your situation, knowing that your sun will rise and shine once again. When our rational mind becomes dominant and our need to control takes over, life can be challenging. Yet within our mind, we also have the power to turn things around and surrender to our destiny as it unfolds, even if this feels uncomfortable at times. Know that your journey is unfolding exactly as it should, and there's nothing to concern yourself about. Yeah. So I think that having that inner level of trust that things are going to work out is going to be important here, because the universe is definitely steering you, maybe not within the next 30 days, but it's starting to steer you in the direction of where you need to go. And as I said, it might be uncomfortable at times. You might deal with haters if you don't identify with the Queen of Wands energy. And it might be uncomfortable. Or you might, if you do identify with the Queen of Wands energy, you might feel inferior to other people. You might feel like you're comparing yourself to other people and that you have to get there and that you have to do this, and that to get to where you need to be. But you don't need that. The universe is bringing you where you need to go. And I don't really think that there's anything that you personally need to do at this time other than trust the fact that it's bringing you to where you need to be, essentially. And it might ask you to leave certain people, certain things behind, which is unfortunate. But I think at the end of the day, you're going to be grateful and you're going to feel like it's doing this for your highest good. You're going to reflect on that and be like, oh, thank God. Like, if you're the Knight of Pentacles, thank God I never accepted that apology from the Queen of Wands. Or thank God that I decided to leave this Queen of Wands person behind. They were really holding me back. And the thing is that I've said earlier, like, if you're going through a hard time with drama right now and someone is really causing you internal strife, people can be stupid. Just going to say that. People can be dumb, but people are also incredibly perceptive, and people know the truth when they see it. It might take them time, but I feel like people understand the situation that you're coming from, and people see through what the Queen of Wands has put you through. And eventually, you don't even have to worry yourself about the Queen of Wands. I'm thinking of Long Story Short, where she says, your nemesis will defeat themselves before you get the chance to swing. And the thing is, unhealthy people who decide to continue to stew in their unhealthiness, they're going to get their own karma. Because guess what? They're going to continue to go back to their old ways and do the same thing over and over and over again and not learn from it. And eventually, there will be enough people that they've affected that can come forward and be like, hey, you aren't who you say that you are. And that was rude. And you won't even have to say anything. You'll already be far enough on your journey that drama won't matter to you anymore. You'll just be like, oh yeah, that happened, but like it was just a temporary setback. And at this point in time, that person is going to face their karma. Whether or not you believe in it, there are consequences to people's actions that naturally happen. So I think that trusting that things will work out for you and focusing on yourself and your personal journey and where you're headed is going to be important within the next few months for you. And I'm excited for you because that's crazy. Those moments are always insane to look back and be like, holy shit. So what are you going to be saying to yourself within these next 30 days? I look for you everywhere. So you might be looking for spirit everywhere or looking for your destiny everywhere. Could also be related to if you've had a breakup and you relate to that relationship aspect, you might still be stuck on this person for a little bit the next 30 days. I get the feeling, though, if you're the Knight of Pentacles, you might just be done. Because that's what the Four of Cups sometimes gives me, is I'm just done with everything. Not done with what you're doing, but just done with that person. What else are they going to be saying to themselves within the next 30 days? And maybe you're looking for old pieces of yourself as well, or you're looking for your future self everywhere that you go. But I feel like you're looking for purpose. I am recovering. Beautiful. Beautiful to heal. That's great. It's great to know. Yeah, you saying that to yourself of I am recovering, that might contribute to the small steps that you take, as well as listening to your own rhythm of being kinder to yourself and realizing, yeah, I am recovering from something. So I'm not going to be I'm still a badass, but I'm not going to be completely in my badassery era. So that's great. I love that for you. Sorry that you have to go through it, and that I'm sorry you have to go through it, I should say, and that it's not fun. But I think you're, as I said, going to be grateful that things worked out in the end. So we're going to get some advice cards to end off this reading. Thank you for being here today and for allowing me to read for you. I'm very grateful for y'all because I love doing these. It's just, I'm sorry to inconsistently post, but I, for full disclosure, have a full-time job, and unfortunately, this falls on the wayside sometimes. But as I said, I'm very grateful that you're here, and I'm very grateful that you have decided to listen to this today. And I hope you do receive the messages that you're looking for here and the courage to move forward. But what is some advice that you can give for pile 2 today as they navigate the next 30 days? Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Okay. Love to see it. So you might have Gemini in your charts. I typically don't use these moon cards as time frames unless they're pretty close. And obviously, Gemini season, late May, early June, is not very close. And it doesn't really relate to the signs that we've seen through the court cards. But Gemini is, for some reason, important here. Maybe you have major placements in Gemini. You could also be a Gemini. But Gemini season is important here and is being highlighted here. I've seen this card so many times. So I'm immediately drawn to time to tell someone how you feel. A successful relationship usually comes down to one thing: communication. And the new moon in Gemini card is all about the start of a new cycle for communicating with the person at the center of your question. Talking things through is the answer to whatever it is you're asking about. If you can't talk to that person, you can journal about it to yourself. Emails, text messages, and all other forms of communication will also help you now. If the issue you're asking about concerns a sibling or neighbor, there's a new start coming, a time to wipe the slate clean and start over. This card could also suggest you've been too frivolous lately and need to get grounded again. But most importantly, drawing this card emphasizes the need to communicate. Well, yeah, communication is important, I think, in terms of this entire 30 days. So if you went through a really hard breakup with someone, it said, and you can't contact them, I found that poetry usually helps me, and sometimes even writing messages to that person in your notes app and just never sending it is helpful. If you have no intentions of getting back together with this person, you're done with them completely, that's important. But if you identify with the Queen of Wands energy, I think communicating to the Knight of Pentacles is going to be incredibly important, because I get the sense that you want to talk to them. And you asked about them in this reading today, and we're curious about them, because I didn't feel the need to pull more cards for the Queen of Wands, but I felt the need to pull more cards for the Knight of Pentacles. So I think talking to them is important, and just telling them how you feel about them is going to be important. Even if they don't accept the offer, even if they're in this meh state, I think that might provide them with the closure that they need, and it might help you just feel better in general about where you're headed. Also, if you are the Knight of Pentacles, maybe talking to the Queen of Wands too, and just maybe telling them that, like, oh, you made me feel this way. My spirit's saying no in my brain. But talking things through is going to be important. So if this person comes to you, I think that wiping the slate clean is going to be significant, and just, telling someone how you feel. That's what's been coming to mind for me. Just telling someone how you feel is going to be important to move things along. I don't feel like it's important. If you obviously don't want to talk to this person, as I said, journal it, write it in your notes app, don't send it to them. It's really cathartic to just say what you want to say and then leave it there. Really cathartic. But if you do have the opportunity to talk with them and you feel a really strong need to communicate with them, I think it's important to be like, hey, can we talk about this situation? And I don't think they're going to be opposed to wiping the slate clean. You might not necessarily get completely what you want out of having that conversation, but I get the sense that you're going to feel better about it after you just sit down and you're like, I'm ready to talk, or I want to talk. I don't think the Knight of Pentacles isn't going to hear you out in terms of allowing you to converse with them, but they might not accept an offer at this time, I think is what the cards are suggesting here. But communication is definitely the first step. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. As I said, thank you for being here. And that was the entire reading. Thank you for being here, Pile 2. If that resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in another reading. Bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by John Holland, and the card that you received is Triumph with the number 7. Yeah, you're moving forward with something. And you're moving forward without any distractions. And if there is a distraction, you're like, I get the vision of a cowboy. You're swinging your lasso around and you're like, get over here. And you grab the cattle and you're like, yeah. Sorry. It's so stupid. But that's the vision that I get. You're a cowboy. You're a cowboy. Cowgirl too. Cow person. The power of your soul is pushing and nudging you steadily forward. Whether you're setting new goals, developing ideas, or planning a journey, it's essential that it's carefully thought out. When you tap into your inner guidance and balance it with self-control, hard work, and perseverance, it's likely to manifest a triumphant outcome. It's time for you to be single-minded and focused on the end goal. Visualize the successful results as if it were happening right now. When you've achieved what you set out to do, your ability to meet other life challenges will be significantly increased. When you try to move forward without balance, direction, or guidance, it's easy to slip off your intended path and be drawn away from your desired goal. Now is not the time to let go or allow the river of life to pull you in its current, as you can so easily lose control. Yeah, so having a purpose and a path is really important here, and having some sort of guidance as you move forward is going to be important, and focusing completely on the task that you're looking at is also going to be significant here, because you're moving towards something and you're moving really quickly. Like, I get the sense that it's urgent, and I'm very focused right now, just as I've pulled this card. And he's looking forward. He's got his banner here. He's got something to show for himself. And the horse looks worried. The horse is like, what the fuck? Anyway, sorry. I'm not actually focused, I guess. Hello, though. Welcome. That is your current situation as you're moving forward with something. I feel the need to pull some actual tarot, because this deck is technically not tarot. So we're going to grab the manga deck today to help guide us through. That is your current situation, but what are you solely focused on? What are you solely focused on? Oh my god. I feel like this is definitely significant here, even though it came out strangely. You're focused on winning a battle of sorts. You have this like haze around you. For some reason, I'm hearing you might be in like a deserted climate right now, but you might be in the middle of battle, in the middle of what you perceive to be some type of war. And I'm getting all this imagery of moving through these explosions that are happening around you. And you're just going to win. Like, you're a winner. We're going to win, no matter what. But you're going to receive a lot of success and recognition towards what you're moving towards. And some of you might become celebrities, or some of you might already be celebrities, depending on when you're viewing this, because I get the sense that's later on. But people are cheering you on and celebrating you, and you've worked really hard to receive this recognition or this encouragement or attention. That, or if you don't resonate with that, because this is mostly a tarot channel for hermits, I think you might just feel very successful with what it is that you're looking for. You might just be looking for success in general, and that's what you're moving towards. So this is kind of a situation that you have to win. But it's something that you're passionate about. It could be a relationship. It could be work related with wands here. Oh. It looks like it might be related to a person if you are looking for relationships. If not, it's speaking a truth that you would like to speak. And this message, I think you might be battling a person that's been working against you and trying to sabotage you. This person uses their honesty to hurt people. They're incredibly decisive, but they can be a little bit harsh and cruel about the way that they deliver their message, and they might try to just provoke fights with people or disagree just to disagree, and they might be trying to sabotage your success, and you're going to win regardless. So like, this person is irrelevant, if I'm being real. That, or you might be trying to, you might represent this Knight of Swords energy in reverse. Did I say king? I meant knight. And you might be trying to become more decisive, and you might not necessarily care about the way that you deliver your message. You're like, I just want to win. I don't give a shit. Get the fuck out of my way if you're going to be in my way. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I just you know, I'm not backing down for this. You either back down or I'm going to cut you down type of deal. You're in your badass energy. You're like hyper fucking focused. And I am curious as to what's causing your current situation. But you're not taking any bullshit, is what I'm hearing. And that's honestly the energy that I get as I'm channeling you. You're very like, cut out the bullshit and just tell me what I need to know. What is causing this triumph? Yeah. You got the Four of Cups. You're not accepting anything less than you deserve. You already feel content with where you're at with the Four of Cups, and you're just like, I'm not accepting anything less than what I deserve. If you're coming to me with an offer, you better come to me correct, is what I'm hearing. And you might be a little bit bored, and so you're looking for something to triumph over. You might just naturally be, I'm hearing type A personality, you might just naturally need to be in a state where you're winning a situation. But I definitely see here that you have what you want already, and you're just not open to moving away from what you have. You're continuing to hold on to it because you're not interested in receiving any other offers right now. And honestly, badass, because you're definitely on the right track. I don't even know why you're here today. Cuz Spirit's saying you're good, dude. Like you're going to be successful in what you're looking at right now. So, what is going to be happening? Maybe you're just looking at obstacles, but we'll get into that a bit more. What is going to be happening within the next 30 days? I'm actually going to pull Yeah, give me some positive energy, dude. If this isn't your pile, you're gonna know. If you're in your badass energy right now and you're like, oh, I'm just looking for a tarot reading to make me feel good and hype me up, I think you've found your pile here. Yeah, Four of Cups again, discontent and boredom. So I think you're gonna feel a little bit like things are a little bit too easy almost, and you're definitely not gonna still be accepting any offers that people are handling to you because you feel content with what you have right now. Anything else that you can tell me? Because you keep pulling the Four of Cups, this meh energy. Maybe nothing's really happening for you within the next 30 days. Anything else that I should know about that's going to be happening for them in the next 30 days? If you're just here for a hype session, I'll hype you the fuck up, dude. In the next 30 days, what else is happening for them? Nothing? They're just going to be bored for the next 30 days? I guess so. That would make sense because there's nothing coming out. Yeah, I don't really feel like there's really any messages here for you. But we'll get into it because maybe I could be wrong. But you're definitely going to be bored within the next 30 days because you're going to be so successful with what you have. And I think you're going to be not the boredom where it's like, I feel unchallenged. But it might be more so like you're just content with what you have right now. And the universe is reassuring you that there's nothing that's going to take away your victory from you. Like you're good as long as you don't accept any bullshit offers from people. Because you might be receiving offers from others, whether it's dating or career related. But I don't think you're going to be accepting anything new. And Spirit might be encouraging that because it keeps pulling out that Four of Cups energy. But we'll get to that when we get to the advice session. What's the lesson to be learned here? What's the lesson to learn here? Visions of life beyond. So 4 is significant here. 8 is also significant, could be, but I feel like 4 is your number. So you might be a life path 4. You might just be stubborn, which gives me earth energy. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, doesn't have to be, but you're in earth energy right now, I feel like. Yeah, so you're seeing things for what they truly are, and I think that that's helping you in your victory. This card talks of like one of two situations where either something that you didn't think was significant is becoming significant. So maybe a project that you started on, for instance, if you started a YouTube channel, you were like, this isn't going to get a lot of views. This isn't going to get a lot of people's attention. I think within the next 30 days, it's going to blow up and it's going to be incredibly crazy for you because you're going to be like, I just thought that I was, doing a YouTube video. And now it just kind of seems like people are actually paying attention or listening. Or it could be that you've been fretting over something where you're like, this is going to be significant. This is going to come at my detriment. And the universe is saying, no, it's not actually as important as you think that it really is. And you're going to be learning a lot of spiritual wisdom within the next few days, and you're going to start to kind of see things as they are, which might be a relief for some of you because you might just be concerned about whether or not this is happening. Like you might be a little bit shocked with where things have headed with your life, and you're just worried that something's going to take it away from you. And this is the lesson saying, no, it's not. You're going to continue to stay in this energy of feeling like you have what you need. The gift of genuine vision takes you into the being of the universal creator. This is sacred terrain beyond logic, convention, and that which is limited in any way. The more open you are to receiving true vision, the more love you will feel and recognize within and around you. Something may appear to change form, to be shed, to be lost, or to die, but there is love within it always. This realization doesn't remove the pain of the loss. It does provide a way through which it can be healed and eventually transformed into peace. Yeah. So you might have lost something, and that might be motivating you to win and to look for success. I'm hearing 6 Inch by Beyonce comes to mind, where she talks about grinding and enjoying the grind, but in the end she kind of ends up being like, come back. So that might be you, where you might be just trying to limit distractions and you might have lost something that was important to you. But if anything, that's not really going to throw you off your chariot. That's not going to change course, because you're going to realize the truth in the situation, that what was lost was because the universe loves you and cares about you, and they don't want to see you with anything less or anyone less than what you deserve, essentially. But obviously, it can be a little bit painful to go through a loss. So I don't mean to trivialize the pain that you're going through, but it's just a note for you to hopefully give you a little bit of peace. If you have been wondering about your life path or whether you should take action on a project, or you need inspiration to really move out of a slump you have fallen into, then this oracle brings you a message of hope. You will receive your vision. Yeah, so some of you might be waiting for a vision to come to you. I'm thinking of just, weirdly enough, Napoleon Bonaparte. I don't even think I pronounced that correctly. But, Napoleon, the French emperor, was he considered? The French ruler? Yeah, I'm thinking of Napoleon Bonaparte. And I've thought about him a lot this reading, actually, which is so funny. But you kind of remind me of that, where you might relate to him in the sense that you have this little star, because he had this little star, and that he felt like was guiding him through life. And you might feel that way as well, where you're kind of waiting for a message because you know the universe has your back, and you know the universe is going to provide for you. It's encouraging you to take action, and that it's coming. Like, what you're looking for is going to come to you. And I think that's going to be the lesson, that you can still trust and rely on the universe to bring you ultimate good. But you're going to move out of this stagnancy. And I think you'll realize that within the next 30 days. And any confusion or uncertainty is going to pass away, and you're going to have a clear state of mind. I think you're going to be seeing things from a new perspective, and you're going to feel more free from whatever situation that happens within the next 30 days. And things are going to be a little bit shocking and surprising for you, but I just get the sense of like, it feels surreal to you. But you're going to expand your worldview about something, and you're going to outgrow your old self. And you're going to realize that that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing to outgrow who you once were. And whatever happens, like whatever challenges that you face or dents in your egos that you face, I think you're going to realize that that's going to pass, and you're going to be okay. But you're definitely being protected within the next 30 days. And you're going to receive, like, if you have any haters coming for you or people coming to sabotage you, like the Knight of Swords that we talked about earlier, they're going to get their karma. It's saying that the universe is going to meet them with justice. And yeah, I feel like that's all. You're just expanding your vision of what the truth means, essentially, which is beautiful energy. So what action, this might be a pretty short reading, so I apologize, but maybe you needed me to just tell you that everything's going to work out in the end and everything's going to be okay. So what action does spirit want you to take in this situation? Obviously it said to limit out distractions and friendship. Okay, that's beautiful. Phone a friend. Find someone on your own wavelength to spend time with. Being with like-minded friends is the tonic you need right now. Yeah, I think friendship is definitely going to spice your life up, especially with like-minded people that you hang around. And maybe during your boredom, if you feel like your life is at a stagnancy and you're like nothing really feels challenging to me anymore, maybe it's time to talk to someone, and maybe it's time to use this time to just talk to an old friend and to ask them how they are and to share your experiences, especially if you're sad. I get the sense maybe some of you lost a person, but this doesn't have to be for all of you. And maybe you just need to talk to someone about it because maybe the success feels a little bit empty for you. But checking up on people, especially the friends that you deem strong, is going to be important within the next 30 days. And Spirit is encouraging you to reach out to them and don't wait to be asked. It might be up to you to make the first move, is what it's saying. So I think initiating that connection is going to be important here. And maybe even making friends if you've been feeling lonely and isolated within your success, or if you've been feeling bored, like maybe talk to a stranger that you often see, or maybe, I know sometimes you can use Bumble or Tinder or dating apps to find friends, but I think you can spice up your life by trying to open your life up to more people and just talking to other people about their own experiences. When you're in alignment with your destiny, notice the people who come onto your path. It's your vibration that attracts the type of friends you need at various stages of your life. So be receptive to meeting new people because beautiful friendships can be born from chance meetings. So, yeah, you're definitely on the path to your life's purpose if you don't feel like you're there already. And I think that being open to meeting people that are on the same wavelength as you is going to be incredibly significant. This is the first thing that I'm seeing after a period of drought. So what's going to happen if they open themselves up to friendship within the next 30 days? This is the first time that Spirit has said something that is not related to you being bored. What? The Hermit card? Can you clarify? Because that's wild to bring up the Hermit when we're talking about friendship. The fuck are you talking about? Okay, sorry. Can you clarify the Hermit? Oop, Ace of Wands, and then the Queen of Coins. I feel what I'm hearing in my head about the Hermit card is that you might exit your period of being a hermit and you might find the answers that you're looking for in other people, because this is the Hermit in reverse. So if you're watching this channel, you probably identify as more of an introverted person, but you might have been asking yourself questions and thinking that your career and work, sorry, there's a plane going over, I don't and that your work or your career or your passion is going to bring you to the hermit, or bring you the answers that you're looking for, when really it's like you just need to go out and talk to people. And I think they might provide you with the answers, because some people see things from different perspectives than you do. And that might relate to the visions of life beyond death, where you're sharpening your perspective by being around other people. And they might have a lot of insight to bring to you that you can't find with your career or that you can't find within yourself. And they might help you become more focused and to cut away distractions that you have in a weird way, because sometimes we might consider connections to be distractions, but I think they might help you concentrate on your personal goals, or they might help you. I've noticed when I've exited my hermit periods, they might help you realize things about yourself that you wouldn't have known had you not exited that hermited period. And it provides a deeper level of understanding of who you are, because you can see maybe qualities within yourself that aren't necessarily that great that you need to fix, which is seen through other people, if that makes sense. Or you might realize, like, hey, I really like this quality about this person. Like, I really like their vibe and I want to become more like that, or I want to learn that skill for myself. Like, being around people is sometimes really helpful to giving you answers. I can also see maybe you will return to your hermit mode after friendships, and you will have more to introspect over, and you might have more time to yourself in a weird way. I just get the sense you're going to get answers that you've been looking for within yourself by opening yourself up to other people. You also have the Ace of Wands, so I feel like there might be something passionate brewing. Doesn't have to be romantic. It can also just be you have a very passionate friendship with someone, or you feel more passionately. But there's going to be a sense of adventure when you open yourself up to other people, and you're going to feel connected to life, and you're going to feel your spark return. With the Four of Cups, I think you might not necessarily be open to, maybe this is just like starting a new phase of your friendship or deepening a connection with somebody else, because it doesn't seem like you're open to other offers, but I can't tell if that's related to career or other people. But maybe for now you're just not open, but you find a friend that you really like and that kind of sparks something within you that might take off later down the line, if that makes sense. But you're starting to lay the foundation of something very intense and something passionate, and it's going to re-spark that drive and then that ambition to do what it takes to make your dreams come true. You're going to receive some exciting news by being around friends, and I think you're going to start a brand new adventure and start into a new phase of your life by opening up to more people and by inviting more friends into your life. You also have the Queen of Coins in reverse here. So I don't know if you have someone toxic in your life or if this is just an aspect of yourself that you feel the need to work on. But this can talk about someone that might be a little bit too dependent on other people for money and support. They're not capable of making practical and realistic decisions, if they're making them at all. And they've kind of stopped growing and working on themselves, and they're kind of wasting their resources and money, and they're second guessing themselves, and they don't want to work, is what I'm hearing. And the friendship card does talk about checking up on the strong friend, because they might need to open up to someone, but they're too scared to open up. I think if you have someone in your life that you relate to with this, they might be an earth sign, especially with the fact that it's pentacles. They might need some assistance, and you might be a little bit shocked to realize that they're not doing as well as they let on to be. I feel like you already know who this person is. I feel like you've already built up your circle. If not, you might meet this person, but they're not doing well financially, and they're not making decisions because they want to make it. They're allowing other people to make decisions for them because they've grown a bit too dependent on that person and a bit too obsessed with the money that they have right now. I don't feel like this is you, but it could be. So can we clarify the Queen of Coins in reverse? I think it might be also a message to be careful of someone, because you seem like you're successful right now. So I'd be a little bit careful of people that might try to depend on you for your wealth or your money, or might only like you because of your successes and see that they can be lazy and dependent on you. So people that don't have any boundaries or people that don't make their own decisions, I'd be extra careful of those people because they might not have bad intentions at all. It might just be people pleaser energy, but they might try to use you. And if you're not comfortable with that, then I would try to stray away from that. But I don't think that this person is malicious. I don't get the intention that they're a gold digger. I just think they might be someone that you know and love and care about that's just kind of been hiding the truth of the situation. I think that they're neglecting to make decisions because they have low self-esteem right now and they feel really powerless, and they need to work on rebalancing themselves and learn how to set boundaries because there might be someone in their life that's being forceful with them and trying to dominate them. But I would just reach out and phone whoever it is that comes to mind if you have someone in mind when I'm talking about this person. I think calling them up and just having a conversation might be worthwhile. And not trying to like impose yourself on them is important when you approach them. Allowing them to make their own decisions is going to be important when you talk to them, is what I'm hearing. But just allowing them to talk about things, I think, is going to be really helpful for them and might help them bring them out of whatever situation it is that they're mulling about, and might also ignite that passion within them and that flare within them to leave, is what I'm hearing. Maybe you might be alone with your friends a lot too with the hermit. That's the only concern that I'm getting here with this reading. That felt like a very urgent message coming through too. Okay, so what are you going to be saying to yourself within these next 30 days? I don't know what comes next. Yeah, because you might be in a period of stagnancy, so that makes sense. I feel like this is more of a sense of excitement, but as I said, there is a sense of boredom with this group of like, I'm hearing, February dragged on too long. February is going to drag on too long. Okay, what else would they say to themselves within the next 30 days? I hope that you can forgive me one day. Yeah, so maybe you have someone on your mind that you feel guilty for hurting, and maybe, as I said earlier, there is a sense of like you might be avoiding this part of yours. For some of you, this feels like a very specific message. I don't feel like it's for all of you. If you don't have someone on your mind as I'm channeling this card, then this message is probably not for you. Just gonna let you know. When I'm channeling this energy, I feel like this is something that happened like a while ago, like a long time ago, that you have accepted. And I don't think that you're trying to grind to avoid necessarily thinking about this person, but I think they resurface in your mind from time to time and you think about them. And I just think you're going to continue to think about them. And this doesn't have to be like a lover, this can just be a friend, but you might still have those thoughts of like, I feel horrible for what I did to you. I hope you can forgive me for what I did. I'm going to continue to live my life and hope that things work out okay. But I'm still thinking of you in that way. I'm still hoping that you can forgive me for what it is that happened. Yeah, I don't get the sense that there's sadness here. I just think that you hope maybe to receive contact from them eventually, or that you guys can talk again. So let's get some advice cards. If you have someone on your mind, by the way, not to plug my own readings, but I also have What's Going On with This Connection readings available if you would like to view those, as well as other love readings. So we'll look into some advice here and then you guys can be on your way. There's not a lot of messages here for you, but I feel like that's kind of a good thing, that you're not going to be distracted and things are going to continue to work really well for you. So we'll pull a tarot card for advice, And then we'll pull a moon card for advice. And then we'll send you on your way. So what is some advice for pile 3? Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords in reverse. What is some other advice? I'm thinking about personality theory right now, so that might be important to you. A time to give rather than take. Okay. New moon in Virgo. Yeah. I don't get earth energy for this pile. I feel fire. So you might be a fire sign, but that's my own musings. That might not necessarily be your energy. I just might be projecting onto you. So interesting. You have the Four of Pentacles, and that talks about being a bit stingy. It's almost like not letting go of something. I think you've put your heart and soul into what it is that you're pursuing, and it might, I can't tell whether this is letting go or whether this is, let's start with the moon card actually and see what messages are there. When this card comes up, it's time for you to take stock of your situation. Where are you and where do you want to go? The new moon energy of this card suggests a restart, and a Virgo energy suggests you make that restart a clever one that's simple and well organized. Virgo also has a strong health aspect to it, so if you've been unwell, this card suggests that your health is on the up. Virgo loves clean eating and alternative therapies, so add these into your routine now, however you've been feeling. If a situation is blocked at the moment, it could be that you're overanalyzing things or being too critical. It's time to ask less about what someone else can do for you, to think more about what you can do for others. Yeah, so I think getting into your routine, paying attention to detail, and being of service to others is especially important for this pile. I'm also drawn to the person you're asking about is reliable. So if you're asking about a person, that is the answer to that. But I think being of service to others is going to be important without giving too much of your wealth away, is what I'm seeing. And also just being kinder to people and delivering things in a less, being a little gentler might also be the message here, because you have the Queen of Swords in reverse, and the Queen of Swords is a person that tends to hurt people because they're also hurt. So I think being wary of your financial resources is going to be significant here, and enjoying the fruit of all of your effort before giving yourself away or before giving it away is also important here. It's okay to be selfish, and it's okay to hold on to what you've created and not want to let go, but there is also a time, I think, to give out into the world, whether this is to a person or to a project. And I think that might be something that you realize you need to work on, is I need to be more of a giving person. And it's good that you recognize that, and it's good that you're working towards that. I don't think this is like a diss towards you by any means, but it could be something that you should work on within the next 30 days, is just being more giving. And this doesn't have to be financially, if you're not in that position to do that, then you can take care of yourself, is what I'm essentially saying. If you're pouring from an empty cup, so don't pour from an empty cup. But I think maybe initiating more with people around you, being more open about yourself to people around you, is going to be really influential during this time, and not being stuck in this negative Queen of Swords energy. Being more empathetic towards others and their struggles might be important here, because you have a little element of air to you as well. There's a lot of different signs here, so I'm not even going to go into it. We received earth, air. I've felt a little bit of fire here and there, but not a lot of water. There's not a lot of emotion here. I think your water energy might be stagnant right now. But you might be kind of iced over and not care about your delivery of the truth or care about other people's feelings. And you might be self-defeating and negative towards yourself, and you might be trying to prove yourself by being hyper independent and isolating yourself from the people that care about you and becoming your own worst enemy almost. And I think this card, along with the friendship cards and give it rather than receive, is don't isolate yourself during this month. Like, reach out to people, talk to them, be open with them, and don't be so hard, I think, on who you are. I think that might have been related to the Knight of Swords as well. Like, you might just be your own worst critic, and that might prevent you from opening up to people. But this card is really encouraging you to open up, because maybe you just need that one person to tell you, or that friend to tell you, like, you're a great person and I love spending time with you. And that's what it takes to just dissolve that self-limiting belief about yourself. That's all it takes for you to feel better about your situation. Because you are like a badass. Like, you're fucking badass. But it's okay to be a little bit softer. And it's okay to, I think, to give. And I think you've been in this, I almost said dictator. I think you've been in this, like, you've been in this, like, ruler energy for quite some time. And you've been in this work energy and focus on this project for quite some time. And I think you might be losing soft aspects of yourself, or aspects of yourself that might be a bit more emotional than logical. So I think that for some of you, it's important to just not isolate yourself and not be hyper independent, and allow people to help you just as much as you help them too. But I think it starts with giving to others and initiating with others, rather than trying to receive, if that makes sense. So I hope that helped, pile 3. Thank you so much for being here. If you resonated with this reading, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.